40 acres in the mule. This is bigger than the music. Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
And as Kendrick said, this is bigger than the music. So him performing Not Like Us is not just about Drake, but it's about understanding who we are as Black people in America, us reclaiming our crown and remembering who's not like us. We got to get these squares.
Yo, what it do? It's your boy Buck Breeze. Mr. No Slacking himself. No slacking and ball. That shit is bad for your health. You know what I'm talking about? What's the vibes, man? Tap in with your boy. Yo, check it out, man. Got a good one for y'all today, man. That's what we gonna do, right? There's been a lot of talk going on out there and people trying to figure it out. A lot of people saying they don't understand, you know what I'm saying, what Kendrick Lamar's performance was about. You know what I'm saying? For the Super Bowl. So I'm like, yo, you know what? I think we need a good breakdown of that. So I found this right here. She breaking this shit down real well. You know what I'm saying? So yo, we're gonna get into this. We know time is money and we can't get $1 back. You know what I'm saying? So let's break down this Kendrick Lamar performance real quick.
The symbolism in Kendrick Lamar.
Hold up. Let's run this baby back.
Today is Did you catch all of the symbolism in Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show? Let me break it down for you. Let's start with the game loading, signifying and setting the tone of what the theme of this performance would be, which is that we are playing the great American game, and not just playing it, but battling against the great American game. It starts out with this game board that has the X, the circle, the square, and the triangle, similar to a game controller, and behind them in the stands they had the loading that was done by lights in the stands, so it said like 55%.
That's deep.
Loading with the loading bar, and at the end it said 100% loaded, and the bar was fully loaded, signifying that it's time for the game to begin. This was good.
What's crazy is I didn't peep that about that part of it. Truthfully, I didn't peep the loading bar and all that shit. I ain't gonna cap. But that's real good. That's real good. All right, let's keep going.
Then we have the legendary, the iconic Samuel L. Jackson, who's everybody's uncle in the Black community.
I think we all love to see Samuel Jackson up there. You know what I'm saying? That was a real good look right there. You know what I mean?
Playing the role of Uncle Sam, who's a representation of the American government, and he welcomes us to the great American game. Now, what makes this so interesting is that in Django, Samuel L. Jackson played the sellout. He played the Sambo, right? So for him to be playing Uncle Sam and representing the larger white society, representing the government, telling Black people to be quiet, to be comfortable. In order to win the game, you have to be less of your authentic self, to simmer down and not do too much. Don't be too loud. Don't be too reckless. Anything you do will be deemed as ghetto and unnecessary if it makes the larger majority, as we've been told, uncomfortable. So this role for Sam was perfect.
Facts.
Sam. And this is the great American game.
Then we get Kendrick rapping a whole new verse that nobody has ever heard on top of the G and X, which really sets the tone that he's...
That's a fact. I was really wondering, like, yo, where did this verse come from? I ain't hear this verse before. When he was spitting that shit, I was like, what's... You know what I mean? I was real confused off of that. She just broke that down for me. That's what's up.
In today's time, this is about today's music. Ain't gonna be too many throwbacks for this performance here. And on top of that, he says the revolution will be televised. They picked the right time, but the wrong guy, which lets you know that I'm here with the message. This is not just about music. Pay close attention. It's also an ode to the revolution will not be televised by Gil Scott-Heron. Do your Googles.
The revolution about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy.
Well, you know, the catchphrase, what that was all about, the revolution will not be televised, that was about the fact that the first change that takes place is in your mind. You have to change your mind before you change the way you live and the way you move.
Then to have the all-black dancers dressed in red, white, and blue as he performs Squabble Up, which symbolizes that we are not going to just play the American game, baby. We ready to squabble up with the American game, because let us remind you that black people are the culture. We are American culture. We're the culture around the world. And Kendrick kind of mentioned this during his Grammys acceptance speech when he said, listen, rap culture, hip hop culture is the culture. We are the foundation. So having black people dressed in red, white, and blue and forming the American flag is a symbol that our culture, that black culture, black blood, black bodies are the foundation of America. Now that Kendrick has decided to squabble up and play the game, Uncle Sam comes back and tells him, you're too loud, too reckless, too ghetto. Don't you know how to play the game? Symbolizing you need to be quiet. If you want to win this game, be quiet, be mild, be meek. You will not win by squabbling up. Be silent. Suffer in silence. Which, haven't we been told that for so long? Then Kendrick switches to Be Humble, which was such an amazing song choice considering what Uncle Sam just said. And he has the black dancers who are dressed in red, white, and blue, shaped in the form of the American flag. Which
that's some deep shit. You know, this performance was well thought out. You know what I'm saying? I like that he did that like that. He thought this shit out and he put this shit down the right way. And I ain't gonna cap to you, when I was watching the performance, you know what I'm saying? Like when I originally first seen it, when the game was on, I'm watching it, I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, Kendrick doing some shit right now. Like, I don't know, but I think Kendrick doing some shit. Like he trying to show people what's going on here or something. I don't feel like this is just a regular performance and it's just the way that is. Nah, it's some symbols and shit in this shit. Like, it's a lot going on that we, you know what I'm saying? That a lot of people probably not catching on to. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, real talk, real talk.
Symbolizes the black experience in America. And at first they're nodding along, which is the sign of just going along with the flow in America. And then they switch to pose, and some are fist in the air, which is a sign of unity, revolutionary power, while others have their arms down, which is a sign that they may want a different type of revolution, or they may not be aligned with that form of revolution. And then they all in a collective bow down, right? And then come back up and they switch into these karate poses. They start doing these different karate poses, which is a sign of collective unity in fighting against oppression in the system. And one of the most symbolic poses was this one, where after all of the revolutions, after the different fights, they just eventually bow down and stand back up and march military style to the next scene. Now, I have to acknowledge the symbolism of all of this occurring within the square. If you understand the square within the black community, it is an old saying to stand on your square, stand on your dean. And the square represents us standing in our power, standing in our purpose, and knowing who we are. He is telling the story of black history in America through all of this symbolism. And one of the most interesting things is that the flag is divided, and he, the storyteller of the black American experience, is standing in the middle.
That's crazy. You see how he did that shit? Yo, look at this shit, man. Yo. Smart man, man. Smart man.
Of that division. Now, this scene was brilliant because he transitions to the next chapter of the Black American story, which was after the revolutions. And after the revolutions, they created a new form of slavery known as the prison industrial complex. And if you see at the top in lights, it says warning, wrong way, signifying that we are going in the wrong direction. Warning, warning. I'm telling y'all that we are moving backwards. That's what he's constantly letting us know throughout this entire show. Now we have the prison industrial complex where he's showing us we're going to be headed right back to a new form of slavery, just like they did with the prison industrial complex. Now, in this prison yard, he performs DNA, reminding us that we are royalty. We have loyalty in our DNA. Know who you are. Have knowledge of self. Remember your power as a black person. And he also performs Euphoria and then eases into Peekaboo as he transitions over to the X. Now, what's important to recognize within this prison yard is he has the street streetlights, and there are brothers sitting on top of the streetlights watching over the yard, which symbolizes quite a few things. Number one, we are always being watched. We are always being observed. The lights are always on the Black community because, once again, we are the culture. We are America. But also, mind the watchful eye, mind the evil eye that is watching over you, attempting to trap you in. And within the prison yard, he's showing that we still build community. As he's performing, he has the old doo-wop harmonies happening behind him, because despite this new form of slavery that impacted the Black community, we still found a way to be beautiful and bold and Black.
I was wondering what that part was about. Yo, you know what? She broke this shit down the right way. Real talk.
And so very much worthy of everything we deserve that is centered in aligned and wellness. We found a way to create music, and remember, this is about the 40 acres and a mule. This is bigger than the music. So he's telling a story about the music and beyond.
Scorekeeper, deduct 1 life.
Then he transitions into the X, which is one of my favorite scenes because it represents the merging of the divine feminine and sacred masculine energy that we have within all of us, but that really uphold the foundation of the Black community. The brothers are vibing out to Peekaboo, and then they all come together and the space opens up and the sisters enter into the X, and Kendrick goes over to consult with the sisters, which was a constant theme throughout the entire show. Throughout the entire show, Kendrick was always consulting with the sisters and telling them what was on his mind and asking for their advice, asking what he should do. That is a symbolism of the brothers, the divine masculine energy, needing to kind of unload that logic mind and get some of that divine feminine intuition and guidance and advisement. That was just beautiful.
No.
They not like us.
What?
They not like us.
No.
They not like us.
No.
They not like us.
And then they transition to the triangle where they began to perform the love songs, the ballads with SZA. SZA and Kendrick coming together
that
and
was
performing
dope.
at the
When SZA
center
came out, I
of
was
the
like,
triangle
oh, shit.
represents the power of Black love,
Word up.
building the Black
I was like, that's what's up when SZA came out. I was digging that.
family unit, which makes up the Black community. You have the two parents coming together to create and manifest the child and continuing on the generations, the legacy of the Black community. Then they transition to the circle where he and SZA perform All of the Stars, and the circle represents a clock moving, time passing by, but then they move counterclockwise, which is a sign that we are going backwards in time. Now, right after this, Uncle Sam comes back and praises Kendrick for doing a good job by being silent, docile, calm.
Oh no.
It's a cultural
And then he
vibe.
did.
I'ma get it on the
And then he did this shit.
flow.
You really about to do it?
40 acres and a mule. This is bigger than the music.
You really about to do it?
Yeah, they tried to rig the game, but you can't fake influence.
And as Kendrick said, this is bigger than the music. So him performing Not Like Us is not just about Drake, but it's about understanding who we are as Black people in America, us reclaiming our crown and remembering who's not like us. We got to get these squares up out our circle, which is one of the reasons he returned to the square where he performed Not Like Us before ending with TV off, reminding us that the full revolution will not be televised. Stop being programmed. Turn the TV off.
Turn this TV off. Turn this.
Yeah, I thought that was crazy too. How it said game over in the back. Yeah, that was real crazy, man. That was real crazy. What y'all think, man? Jump in the comments, man. Let me know what you think, man. I think she did a real good job of breaking that down. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was real dope. How Kendrick did this shit. I like what he did. You know what I'm saying? I like what he did. That shit was dope, man. He represented, man. Word up. If y'all think Kendrick represented, man, jump in the comments. Let me know what you think. You heard? Word up, man. Yo, it's your boy, Buck Breeze. Mr. No Slacking himself. No slacking involved. That shit is bad for your health. You know the vibes, man. Tap on in. Let's go.